For the first time in U.S. history, a major disaster declared for all 50 states. This as concern grows over emerging hotspots.
COVID-19 is becoming like a sniper in the viral war, silently taking out healthcare workers.
COVID-19 infections on the rise in states such as Rhode Island, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Saturday, the state announcing more than 1,600 new cases and at least 70 new deaths. As cases rise in Philadelphia, a shocking encounter caught on video. Even though there's no law mandating passengers must wear masks, police drag a man off a bus for not having one. Following the incident, local transport authority says it will no longer enforce the policy encouraging riders to wear masks. This as states double down on social distancing.
Now is no time to relax the social distancing.
Some introducing new and tougher restrictions. Friday evening, Los Angeles extended its safer-at-home order until May 15th, the longest of any city. Also closing all parks and masks mandatory for essential businesses. And this week in hard-hit Michigan, residents can no longer visit friends or relatives. Those who have more than one home banned from traveling between them.
All public and private gatherings of any size are prohibited.
Restrictions leading to progress. On the front lines outside Detroit, signs the state.
Okay, your acting director general said that we'll only reach the peak in September. If that is the case, do you recommend a lockdown until then? What do we need to do in that time?
Well, it's too early for me to make a public statement on the lockdown. The National Coronavirus Command Council will decide that. We just simply look at possibilities of what can happen. Now, at the moment, no one has got exact a picture of what will happen. So what we do, we work on various scenarios to say, if this happens, that's what's likely to happen. What we're trying to do is to get the measures that will help us to reduce the rate of the infection spreading internally, such that we don't have to be under pressure during the winter times. So because of the flus and increased admissions and increased closeness of people and the temperature changes and all of that might actually increase the infection.
State of Colorado's youngest victim, 21-year-old Cody Lister, died this week fighting the virus.
Cody was young and he was healthy. He is proof positive that this virus does not discriminate against age.
Amidst the tragedy, there's also hope. Washington State, once the country's outbreak epicenter, now a working example of how to flatten the curve. This week, an Army field hospital dismantled and returned to the Department of Defense without treating a single patient. Still in Seattle, concern. It's unclear how this will end.
Right now, we don't have a clear picture of how this pandemic is going to kind of trail off. And that's the part that worries me, is what we do to make sure that things don't get worse.
Aaron joins us now. Aaron, you're talking to doctors on the front lines. What are they most concerned about?
Well, Jose, doctors in Seattle tell me they're most concerned about complacency as the situation improves and that curve flattens. They're worried that people are going to let their guard down, and therefore there'll be more cases and potentially more lives lost. Jose?
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Tonight, I just want to encourage you all to stay strong. 2020 have arrived, and for the last 3 years I said that the curtains will come down in 2020. And I've always, you've seen my status on Facebook that it says Rapture Tribulation 2020. And last year I stated that 2020 will be a turbulent year. That is for some of my messages in the beginning. Some of you may have noted, some didn't. But nevertheless, I don't want to keep the I and the my in front of me. I always want to stay humble. I'm not a bearer of bad news, but we all know that it is coming. It is coming. Now, last week, I heard Steve Denoon from Israel News say that Donald Trump is no more president. I listened through to his 52 minutes video statement, but it was just a rumble. I could not really understand what he was saying. And there's a lot of detail, this and that. But then I came across Jimmy Carter's statement where he says when 50 states have declared a state of emergency, then the presidency is no more than that. His authority will be given over to the emergency, to the FEMA camps. And that's what it states. Donald Trump will no longer be president when all 50 states have declared a state of emergency. Just yesterday, the last state became the 50th state. So I can't pronounce it properly, but that state became the 50th state to declare a state of emergency. Now, having said that, you've seen that clip that I inserted, and you're probably wide open and wow, what is happening here? I add some inserts there about the lockdown may be until September. That is possibility. It may not, or it may not be. Will remain to see. But in South Africa, the presidency stated that September will be the peak of this virus. Israel said the same thing, that all flights and major events, major gatherings will be in lockdown until September. Now that put a big question mark behind it. I will share you a video in the next video, something that very disturbed me a lot. I did not sleep for the last 2 days about what is really coming. But I will share in this video, I will share this with you in the next video. But having said that, the next, this executive orders revokes president power in a time when all 50 states are in a state of emergency, and transfer this power from the president to the United States to the FEMA director, Peter Gaynor. He is the director at present, appointed by Donald Trump. I think it was this January. Now here is the full executive order, and I'm going to read some of that to you. It's Order 12148, and then also the National Liberty Alliance for you as a reference. Let's just go out here and let's go there quickly. And this is the executive order by, let's go back there. This was the executive order I found by Jimmy Carter. He was then the 39th President of the United States from 1977 to 1981. Now this is Executive Order 12-148, the Federal Emergency Management. By the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, including the Federal Civil Act of 1950 as amendment, 50 U.S., that's the states, applicable, the Disaster Relief Act of 1970 as amended, Chapter 58, no, the disaster relief and etc. I'm not going to read all that, and that includes 50 USA states as well. Yeah, and titles And the management agent is hereby ordered as follows. It's hereby ordered as follows. 1. Transfer of reassignment of existing functions or functions vested in the President that have been delegated or assigned to the Defense Civil Preparedness Agency Department of Defense are transferred or reassigned to the Director of the Federal Emergency Agency. They continue all functions vested in the President that have been delegated assigned to the Federal Disaster Administration. All functions vested to the President that have been delegated assigned to the Federal President General Service Administration. All functions vested in the President by the earthquake hazards, including those functions performed by the office. So these are all the hazardous function in a disaster. But of course, this is a pandemic. So I will speak more about that in the next video. Yeah, so all the President's powers are assigned over to the emergency department and to the FEMA camp as from then on. So what time frame will this be? I do not know at all. I can guess. I got one video here that I would like to share with you. As Donald Trump, the final Trump. Donald Trump, of course, is the seventh king. 777, and that stands for when God's judgment is coming. And that is called, Donald Trump is the final Trump. And you can watch this video, Donald Trump presidency May ends 21 June on a solar eclipse. Yes, this video I made about July, but almost 2 years ago. And that was at that time when we also believed that Donald Trump, well, not Donald Trump, Barack Obama may return, but as I stated, this video was created at the time when we thought that Obama will return, but I don't think that will be the case scenario. I believe the sixth seal is coming, and one reason, this is another reason, I believe the governments of the world are aware of this incoming planet, which actually will be the cause of the sixth seal. You can read Isaiah 24, Revelation 6, 13, where the heavens rolled up like a scroll. Isaiah 24, God turned the earth upside down. So this might be the preparation for that scenario. That's one case. So the prophesied FEMA camps looks like a reality, people. Yes. So when will that happen? As I said, probably later in the year. We will see how the infection rate escalate, and the death toll is climbing. And most parts of the year in South Africa, we haven't even started winter yet, and that's just normally the cold periods where this virus is will be escalating. So these are all the possibilities that one look at. So Donald Trump, there's a lot of people that also had dreams about Donald Trump being assassinated, and I got a video on that as well. So I'll include all these in that video for you. So that's about all. So people, dig deep into the presence of God. Jesus is coming. And I said by always statement, it's always being around. The beginning and the end is always around September, October. So be blessed, people. Please do subscribe, share these videos, and I love you all, guys. I love you all. Jesus is coming. I pray for you every day. Amen.